Hey, what's up? Brian from Be the Nice Kid. I had this class in college. It was a music class, and it was a history of music class. And I love music, and I signed up for it because I thought I'd learn a lot about different kinds of music and just have a fun time listening to stuff. Problem was, about 3/4 of the way through the class, I realized it was all classical music. It was all orchestra music, and that stuff just bored me to death. And I kind of developed this bad attitude about the class that I didn't want to go anymore. It was boring. The teacher was pretty boring. He had no knowledge of anything other than classical music and orchestra music, and I just had a bad attitude about it. We had to write this paper at the end of the semester, just about something in class, something about the classical music. And I titled my paper, Why I Hate Classical Music. And right away, that was probably a mistake. I wrote this thing. It's a pretty well done paper, but it was just kind of negative, and it was all because of my attitude. It was totally me. And in the middle of this paper, since I didn't really respect the teacher too much, the professor too much, I wrote, if you actually read this, I'll buy you a pizza. And I just kept going with the rest of the paper. A couple days later, I got an email from this professor calling me into his office. And I got to his office. He looks at me, and the first thing he says to me is, I'll take pepperoni. Oh. Now here's what the good stuff happens. We sat down, and we talked for about 45 minutes. We talked about everything. I talked about the reasons I don't like classical music. He told me the reasons he does. I realized this professor had more going for him than I thought. I made this judgment. I judged someone. I judged this guy that he was only one-dimensional. He only had one thing going for him. And you know what? That 45-minute talk, that was awesome. We had so much fun talking. He knew about pop music. He knew about modern music. We talked about that too. I got a newfound respect for him. And the reason I didn't have him in the first place was all because of me. It was my attitude towards this. It was my bad attitude looking at someone thinking they're probably this way. But you know what? It doesn't work that way. People have other things going on. People have things that you have no idea about. People have talents that you have no idea about. Take my advice on this one. I messed up. I screwed up. It was totally my fault. Look for the good in people. Find something positive in someone else. Realize that they have something they're good at. Realize that they're more than just this one thing. And you'll be a lot happier. So will they.